I thank you, sacred air, for your healing power.
My name is Stephen Sindoni. Thank you for tuning into the broadcast of Sacred Sites Revealed. In today's program, I will share information about a little-known sacred ceremonial site that is located on the north side of Mount Shasta. The sacred site is approximately at the 12,000-foot level. The area I am referring to is called North Gate. Many of the visitors to Mount Shasta hike the familiar South Gate because of its paved two-lane highway that leads to Bunny Flat. While hiking with a friend named Tara on the Mount Shasta South Gate side, we met a couple who were making their way up the mountain headed for Squaw Meadow. After a quick meet and greet introduction, we all sensed a strong spiritual connection between us. We then exchanged contact information and parted ways. On the following day, Tara and I were meditating at the Peace Garden, which sits near the base of Mount Shasta, when we ran into the couple we had met the day before on the trail leading to Squaw Meadow on Mount Shasta. It was no accident. Ed asked if Tara and I would like to accompany him and Naomi to a sacred place up on the Magic Mountain. He called the sacred site North Gate. North Gate, he went on to say, was on the north side of Mount Shasta and can only be reached by an unpaved rocky road called Military Pass Road off Highway 97 in the Weed area near Mount Shasta. After listening to Ed's offer to accompany them to the sacred site, Tara and I accepted the offer. I asked Ed if it was all right if I could bring my friend Eric along. We all agreed to meet on the following day, which was Sunday, the 27th of September at 10:30 a.m. in the Mount Shasta Shopping Center. At the designated time, my friends and I met the couple as planned. Tara and I got into Eric's van and followed Ed and Naomi's white van out of the shopping center parking lot and headed north on I-5 towards Weed. We then exited in the town of Weed and made our way north onto Route 97. We drove approximately 4 or 5 miles before turning onto Military Pass Road, all the while being mesmerized by the majestic view of Mount Shasta. It took about 45 minutes to make our way up the unpaved rocky road. Without a four-wheel drive vehicle, it is almost impossible to make it up the side of the mountain. It was easy to understand why many of the residents of Mount Shasta were unaware that this road led to the higher elevations of Mount Shasta. As we followed behind Ed's white van, Eric asked me how I met the couple. I began by telling Eric that Ed was originally from Iowa and moved to Sherman Oaks, California in 1966. Ed's mother had Native American ancestry from the Sax-Fox tribe in Iowa. Naomi was from Palencia, Spain. Naomi learned at an early age about her spirituality. She was raised in the Catholic faith and was the 9th of 11 children. Ed and Naomi met in 2002 at a crystal ball concert in Madrid, Spain. They have been traveling the world together visiting sacred sites ever since. The reason for their trip to the United States was to activate the water in Mount Shasta and the sacred water at the Grand Tetons in Wyoming. And then, once their work was done in Mount Shasta, they would be leaving on the following day for Wyoming. This was a sacred pilgrimage for the couple. Upon arrival in the parking lot at North Gate, we gathered our backpacks and began hiking up the north face of the mountain towards the sacred ceremonial site. It took approximately 2 hours to reach North Gate. Once there, Ed and Naomi made a campfire using rubbing alcohol as an accelerant to get the fire started. Naomi used mugwort and sage to purify the energy. We then made a circle around the campfire holding hands while Ed and Naomi began reciting a spiritual prayer. As we held hands and meditated in silence, I began to feel the connection with the Mother Earth vibration. Once the prayers were concluded, we all headed in different directions to have our own personal experiences. I turned and walked to an area right behind where we were standing. there was a Native American medicine wheel constructed on the ground. The wheel was approximately 50 feet in diameter and covered a large area. As I looked further into the distance, I could see 3 additional medicine wheels there in front of me. It was then I realized how sacred this site truly was. I walked through the medicine wheel in silence. It was an experience that touched the very core of my essence. I was at peace. I was now listening to the voice from within and being led by divine intervention. After walking through each and every medicine wheel, I returned to find a shaded tree where I could sit to meditate. As I sat and meditated, I pondered my existence. Who am I? Why am I here? And what is my purpose? These are only a few of the questions that ran through my mind. After a matter of minutes, I started to receive the answers. I am light. I live in light. I am light's fullest dimension. I am light's purest intention. I am light, flooding the world everywhere I move, blessing everything and conveying the purpose of the kingdom of heaven. On this day, I am a focus of the central sun flowing through me in a crystal river, a living fountain of light that can never be qualified by human thought and feeling. I am an outpost of the divine. Such darkness as has used me is swallowed up by the mighty river of light, which I am. I was now going through a transfiguration. I would be changing all my garments, old ones for the bright new day. With the sun of understanding, I was now shining all the way.
I thank you, sacred air, for your healing power. I thank you, sacred air, for your life-giving power. I thank you, sacred fire, for your healing power. I thank you, sacred fire, for your life-giving power. I thank you, sacred water.